Yugioh Board Breakers tier list. Hello, what's up guys, Typhoshi here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Yugioh Board Breakers tier list, and we're going to talk about how I feel like Yugioh Board Breakers are probably going to be even better than hand traps right now in this format. I think for the main hand traps that everybody should run in the deck, probably just up to 6, however you feel like. You have your ashes and you have your imperms. Besides that, I feel like people should run board breakers instead, just because some of these are just cracked. Like, let's get into this and let's see. So I feel like this lava golem, you kind of have to waste your normal summon, so it's kind of decent for decks that you don't really need their normal summon, but it's just okay. I'm gonna leave it as mediocre. It's pretty mid. So kaijus, man, kaijus are really good. Sphere mode also kind of mid. They are tributing, but you kind of need 3 tributes, so not really that crazy. Let's put them at decent, because they are kind of like kaijus, but just a little bit worse. Dark hole, this one's also kind of mid. Dark ruler no more, I feel like it's gonna be really strong, just because you're able to beat decks like the runic stuff, Pirelli. Let's see what else. Just any other rogue. There's a lot of rogue decks coming up in the format, so that's pretty good. Forbidden droplet, it's gonna be decent. Lightning storm. Lightning storm is gonna be crazy this format, just because labyrinth is gonna be crazy back again. Talents, you already know. Talents is amazing. Ultimate Slayer, I'll keep it as decent. I haven't seen a lot of things about Ulti Slayer, so we'll just keep it there, see how everything goes. And then evenly match, I feel like evenly match is going to be really good still. Effect board negations aren't going to be that crazy. The only thing that could really stop stuff like that would be probably like the sprites with either the carrot or the other one. I forgot the name of it, sorry, but yeah, that's like the only deck that could stop it. But besides that, super heavy samurai, I wouldn't say it's dead, but not a lot of people are playing that card. 1-for-1 trades are kind of okay, but the fact that you need a target is like it's an alright card. Fenrir, I feel like Fenrir is pretty good. You could toss it in some of these decks and it does pretty well. Super Poly is going to be pretty good now, because you could beat up decks like the Branded. There's a lot of different lights and darks inside of the other decks, so that's pretty good. Change of Heart, I'll say it's decent. Enemy Controller's kind of mid. Mind Control, also kind of mid. Kaiju, it depends. If your deck can play kaijus inside your thing, or if you could play more than one, then it's around here. But besides that, I feel like it's kind of unplayable unless you're playing like really niche decks like I was talking about, my dinos. You could run this here. So I'll just say it as mid. Kurikara, man, Kurikara is good. Kind of want to put it as very strong, but I'll keep it as good as well. Raigeki, I think Raigeki is gonna be decent. Chalice also is gonna be decent. This thing is kind of unplayable, man. Like, there's so many cards that just are bigger than 3k, so it's not really worth it. Swords of Concealing Light, also pretty bad. The books are gonna be kind of mid, so I'll keep this here and keep this here for now. Cash isn't gonna be like super prevalent anymore. Yes, it's still the same best deck pretty much, but not a lot of people are going to be playing it just because it did get hit quite a little. Thrust, really strong still. I honestly don't know what this card is, so I'll keep it as mid for now. This card is trash. This card is pretty much trash. Like, why play this when you can literally play these other two? Harpies, this is going to be good. Like I was saying, the Labyrinth deck, a lot of back row, so it's pretty good. Santa Claus is pretty much like any other kaiju, but you're allowed to put it in defense, which is pretty strong. It helps XYC strategies to go into your Zeus. And then XYC Encore, I feel like it's gonna be decent. It's good against the Pirelli strategy, but besides that, it's all right. So it's just okay. It's for that certain deck, and that's pretty much it. Like, these are some really strong things. If anything, I would probably bump up this and this, but besides that, I think I'll just keep it like this. Actually, I'll keep it like that, just because I feel like everyone should main Harpies, just because you never know when you would go against a Labyrinth. And even if you're not facing Labyrinth, against Branded Despia, if they go with the Branded Lost, you could destroy that Branded Lost. So then you can interrupt their fusions into later on grind games. So that's actually pretty good. And then for the Kashira matchup, you could get rid of their field spell. So it's still not a bad card. So it's still pretty good. So we'll leave it off as there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Handtrap tier list. Let's get it started. Okay, so number 1, we have Ghost Mourner Moonlight Chill. Effect negation is pretty strong, but the fact that this counts as, you have to like kind of activate it as a chain link 1, so they're allowed to still play their hand trap first, not their hand trap, sorry, their monster, their special summon monster first. It's okay. It's pretty mid, honestly. Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, also pretty mid. It's kind of situational within the decks. You kind of have to run the same extra deck monsters, which is kind of good for some strategies, but you know, it's kind of better for those like Ditto matchups slash mirror matches, like they're called. Ghost Sister Spooky Dogwood. I think this card becomes a lot worse now that Yugioh and Konami has made this new rule where you get 5 extra minutes in the round. So moving it from 40 to 45, which sometimes is the right amount of time just to finish off a game. So this becomes less of a thing, and people are less likely to go into time. Bestials, I think Bestials are going to be pretty strong now, and some people can main deck them, and a lot of them could just sideboard them instead. So I feel like A is a great place for them to go. I feel like Nib is also going to be one of those strong, either on the main or on the side. Nib gets stronger the less people know it's in the format. So if you catch people by surprise with this card, it's extremely strong. But if they know that you're playing it, it becomes a lot weaker. I feel like Drillin Lockbird, it's going to become a little bit less prevalent in the format. It's still pretty good. You can keep it in the side, but right here I'm just going to keep it at the B tier. Lancia is going to be pretty mid. Only kind of deck that it affects would be either Fluwanderees or your Kashiras. Kashira is the best deck in the game right now, but it only slightly hurts it, and it doesn't really stop it. And against Flu, not a lot of Flu players right now, so why even run it, you know? Skullmeister, trash. D-Barrier, I think it's going to be a really, really strong card within the decks that can run it, like Cash and Sprite can run it, Flu can run it. There's a lot of decks that could run it, and it affects them a little, but it would affect other decks a lot more. So Dimensional Shifter, so D-Shifter, it's going to be that really strong card. Contact C, I feel like it's going to be okay. It's kind of like an experimental card, like keep it in the side, maybe in the main. So that's going to be okay. This is also okay. I know it's good against the branded matchup, but that's pretty much it. Maybe against Math Mech too, but I'm not too sure. Ash Blossom, you kind of just have to run it in your main nowadays. It affects any of the top decks, any rogue as well. So Ash, it's like a must-have. Ghost Ogre's okay. It kind of gets rid of those monsters that you don't want on the board anymore, but at the same time, it doesn't do too crazy much. I think Ghost Spell is going to be an amazing card to side. Good against Branded, good against Math Mech, good against Lab, because I'm pretty sure one of their trap cards, I don't know if it's Labyrinth or one of the, or Big Labyrinth, that you could banish one of the Labyrinth cards and then you could special summon like something, or give it back to hand or something like that. Ghost Spell's pretty strong against that. DD Crow is going to be okay. It's kind of just a worse Bestial. So yeah, DD Crow's alright. I'll actually keep it down here. It's not that great. Effect Veiler, it's pretty much an infinite impermanence, but sometimes even better, and then sometimes even worse. There's some decks that prefer to run monsters over actual traps, so in those type of decks you can run the Effect Veiler. But besides that, infinite impermanence is also a better / worse Effect Veiler. It's pretty strong. It goes against anything. The fact that you could sometimes just set it and then get rid of rows, pretty strong. I've had times where I set down a imperm, I activate it, and then my opponent forgets which row it was, and they activate a spell or trap in that same row, and then they're just like, oh dang, why did I do that, you know? Gamma is pretty much a dead card. Why would anybody run it? But sometimes some people do have the space for it, and you could still like e-telly it out, but I honestly say it's not worth it. And then same with Chaos Hunter. They're probably like the worst hand traps in the format right now. I'll probably bring down this one too. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Stay in tune for my future live streams / YouTube uploads. And yeah, I'll bring that dang long Sword Soul build. I don't know if I did it before this or maybe after this video. But besides that, stay fresh. See you guys in the next episode. Peace.